Today, I raise my hand in honor of my twin brother. My name is Zion Kelly, and just like all of you, I have had enough.
Start packing heat. Are they going to arm our pastors, ministers, and rabbis? Are they going to arm the guy scanning tickets at the movie theater? Are they going to arm the person wearing the Mickey Mouse costume at Disney? This is what the National Rifle Association wants, and we will not stand for it. To all the politicians out there, if you take money from the NRA, you have chosen
There you go.
If you have not expressed to your constituents
Tell these hypocritical phonies. Tell these lobbyists.
You have chosen death. If you do not stand with us by saying we need to pass common sense gun legislation, you have chosen death. And none of the millions of people marching in this country today will stop until they see those against us out of office, because we choose life.
There you go.
We have a city that feels we need more divvy bikes in downtown Chicago for tourists, rather than more funding for workforce programs that get guys off the street.
Tell them about it. Tell these political phonies. Tell these political rats. These armchair warriors. You're tired of the violence. You're tired of the hypocritical phoniness. You're tired of the drugs being shipped in your community because you can't get jobs. You're tired of children being shot down in school. You're tired of these political phonies, and you're going to vote you're going to vote them out of office. You these demons. They're owned by the big business and special interest groups. That they're owned. A lot of Republicans are owned by the NRA, National Rifle Association. Tell them that's right, that you're not afraid of them, and you're coming for them. That's right. To God be the glory. Stand for something, or you'll fall for anything. Hypocrites, phonies, liars. A lot of these people never even been in the military. These politicians are bought and paid for. Phonies, liars, and thieves. That's all they are.
We deserve a right to have a life of fear without fear of being gunned down. We can only live in this so often called the American dream if we have the proper gun legislation and resources to do so. And in Chicago's case, no more frivolous spending on tourist attractions, but rather we need to spend on the people that actually live there.
That's right.
About all communities equally. It's time to stop judging some communities as worthy and some communities as unworthy. It's time to stop judging you that look like me or my brother that come from impoverished communities.
There you go. Stand united. United we stand, or divided we fall. A lot of corrupt politicians. They need to be... Oh, let me calm down. I've never seen a march like this. Tell these hypocrites. Is it a moment or a movement?
I said this to say, no matter the hurdles we may face along this journey, we must remain hopeful and we must continue to stand together and fight for the lives that we deserve. Thank you.
There you go.
Good afternoon, folks. This is Truth Speaker again. And I just would like to say that the rally yesterday was something of a sort that I had never seen or heard of in my entire life. Of all the marches, Dr. King, the women movement, marching for no justice, no peace, by Al Sharpton. I've never seen a movement where all races, ethnic background, and languages came out to speak. Even the granddaughter of the civil rights warrior, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s granddaughter, Miss Yolanda King, the little 9-year-old girl, came down and she said, my grandfather had a dream that his 4 children would sit down and be judged, would not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. She said, I have a dream. Enough is enough. And I like to say, you know, there's a lot of flack and distrust going on there. I like, see, it's one thing we have to remember. Either you'll stand for something or you'll fall for anything. I won't be long. I want to just give you a little bit of information on this. You already know. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Sr., Emma Gonzalez, stood silent with tears streaming down her face on stage in front of thousands on Saturday's March for Our Lives rally. After listening to the names of 17 people killed when a gunman rampaged through her school on Valentine's Day, Gonzalez asked the crowd to fathom how so many could be murdered and only 6 minutes and 20 seconds, the exact amount of time where that clown went in there and killed all those children. And then she stopped speaking. Silent minutes ticked by, then an alarm beeped. Since the time that I came out here, it has been 6 minutes and 20 seconds. She said finally the shooter had ceased shooting and will soon abandon his rifle, blend in with the students as they escape and walk free for an hour before rest. And I've never seen a rally where they addressed the issues of black folks and Black Lives Matter. Everybody thought, Al Sharpton and many other folks all over America were literally shocked. They had never seen a movement of this sort. And Al Sharpton said one thing: is this going to be a movement or is it a moment? See, and the thing is, they told NRA that we are not afraid of you. And they told these politicians that, see, you have to understand, we always talk about the Democratic Party, how this and that, they're not right there. Well, neither is the Republican Party. They're owned by the Koch brothers and the NRA, the National Rifle Association. So they're going to pass policy and laws that are more appeasing to their monetary benefactors, which is the NRA and the Koch brothers. All they're doing is just pointing fingers at one another. But we have to understand, these are our children that are getting shot down in school. And they're talking about the Second Amendment. When the Second Amendment was written 200 years ago, you didn't have AR-15 or bumper stock that you can convert. Well, you know what I mean. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not against firearms of any sort. I'm just against not everybody or the wrong person having them. That's what I'm against. And this is what we have to sit down and discuss and pass. Not doing the will of the top 1% who own most of the currency in the country. They even addressed, and one of the commentators asked, what is this young gentleman, white student, and he said, what are you against? What do you think about the resource agent or the teachers having firearms? Wouldn't that help? He said, let me tell you something, in which a lot of people, they've addressed issues coming from the black community, even black on black violence and gun violence in the black community in places like Chicago. I was shocked. He said, my black friends or black students are discriminated against 3 times more than I am. He said, how do you think they feel when they see a teacher with a gun in the room? I was shocked. Even my jaw dropped open. They're saying things that even the old activists themselves wouldn't speak. Even old activists, old warrior like John Lewis was out there. He was don't stop. Keep on fighting. And they told these politicians that we're going to be voting soon. And some of them are age, were 18. He said, we're going to vote sooner. We're going to vote you out of office. And that's what they need to be. If you don't, it is written, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. See, it is said, united we stand, divided we fall. It went beyond racial barriers, race, color line, ethnicity, language spoken. It was everybody out there. Everybody was represented. That's a united group. That's when they stand united. Do you understand? It was an awesome thing. I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm just going to say. Students from Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School organized and boasted the main event. And I mean, it was awesome. And they have something planned for next month. Keep fighting. Let your voices be heard. And like I said before, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Fight against this with all these guns and all these mass shootings. You do not want guns in your school. If so, let the resource officer have guns and keep all and put metal detectors and gun detectors all around the school at every exit and entrance. I mean, what an awesome, and I stand in agreement with them. And another thing that was talked about yesterday, 22-year-old Stephen Clark was shot and killed in his grandparents' backyard. You can understand how the entire family was so upset. The cops had a report that they had killed, that somebody was breaking windows. And they say he didn't stop when they called him, but he ran. But then sooner they went into this man's grandmother. They followed him in his grandmother's and grandparents' backyard. And the first thing they holler, which is typical when they see an African American, or he's got a firearm, he's got a gun, and shot him 20 times, and then it came out to be a cell phone. Even that was brought up. And they're marching against that, which they should. And the first thing somebody said, oh, well, he was running from the cops. What about these mass shooters? Do you know that Cruz character clown is still alive? The guy that did that bombing in Austin. Because most mass shooters are white. And I'm not racist. I'm just bringing up a fact of the issue that they were covering yesterday. Do you understand that? What is it, justice for all or just for a few? I was shocked they covered these issues, which should be, because when it comes to race in America, a lot of these politicians don't like to speak on that. That's why these problems still persist. Do you understand? And then they told, what's another issue, man? They told, one officer told the other one to mute the mic, cut the sound off the mic so they can't hear. 20 times they shot this unarmed guy. He was walking trailer with his hand out and the cell phone in his hand. Dylan Roof is still alive. Cruz is still alive. They took Dylan to get a Big Mac. They wanted him to calm down after he'd murdered all those people in that church. So they said, why they don't treat African Americans the same way they treat white? I mean, that the issue that they were bringing out. Look at Fernando Castillo. How that cop murdered him in cold blood. And he had a permit for a gun, but the NRA didn't speak out then. But then they wanted to clap back at the rally yesterday. They put this African American gentleman up to say something, but nobody said anything when Fernando Castillo was killed. Nobody said anything when Trayvon Martin was killed, but Fernando Castillo was a hard-working African American. He had a gun permit, and the guy still shot his arm off and murdered that man. You know how many African Americans were murdered by cops unarmed? And violence in Chicago. There's a reason. Chicago's been corrupt for well over 100 years. It's always been corrupt. It's corrupt long before African Americans got there. Everybody knows, the authorities know where the drugs are coming from, and they know where the guns are coming from. They know that very well. They've already did a documentary on it, but they had to stop it because they didn't. Well, really, that's subject for another video. Who's it that said, give me liberty or give me death? Are you going to treat people right? Or just shut up and go on about your business to let everybody know how hypocritical most of these politicians are. And then this guy get up and says, what is this clown's name? Talking about Congress need a raise. They only make $174,000. You know how many days? You know how many days a week, a month these guys work? They only work 1 out of every 3. They don't do anything anyway. Worthless. But getting back to the issue at hand, I do not want my child or grandchild or niece and nephew or any of my child, I do not want any of my children in a school where all these teachers have guns. Again, they need to do background searches, and I stand firmly with the March for Our Lives groups. I stand with them because they address all the issues, and that's never been seen before. And I applaud them, and they fight for justice. And let your voice be heard. Like I said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. We're going to have to come and talk about this issue, about this gun violence. Even in Chicago, they addressed that gun violence in Chicago with black folks. They even said, I'm going to close with this. Even said, how do you think black people feel? Because they know. He said, how many African Americans were dropped by the gun, a bullet coming out of the barrel. How many of them? Unarmed. I was shocked again. I was shocked at looking at the rally all day because the thing that they were mentioning, they said our generation is the most indoctrinated in all of American history. That's embarrassing. Hypocrisy has no bounds. Look at this. I want to say something, you know. The entire world is watching us. Look at the political climate in Washington, D.C. Look at it. This man wasn't even there. Donald Trump wasn't even there, but he always talked about Obama going golfing. Look how many times he went golfing. I'll leave that alone. But I want to talk to people. You fight. Let your voices be heard, students. That's right. Change America the way it was supposed to be, the way the founding fathers had originated, their vision of America should be. But one thing I like to all that, all men are created equal, regardless of race or color or the language you speak. And keep these guns out of our schools. God bless and pray. Because America really needs it.